want to see manifest in the real world. You can build it and you can do it, but it requires a certain type of approach. And so I'm going to talk about that and talk about this concept that I've been really getting into recently around energy and the energy that's required, because certainly you can come up with a great blueprint or a plan, but unless you actually invest the energy into it, it doesn't get built.
NewsCenter reporter Tia Johnson joined the crowd for Hill Harper's lecture. She also caught up with Dr. Rita Abel, Associate Professor of Communications, to chat about Harper's presentation.
This evening we are very pleased to welcome Mr. Hill Harper to Morehead State University.
I was very engaged by Mr. Harper's delivery, and I guess that's being the speech professor myself. I find myself always trying to gauge and evaluate and assess someone's delivery and how they're able to engage the audience.
And so Chelsea, is going to help me. Now, Chelsea, could you break down for us E equals mc squared?
Oh, okay, so energy equals the speed of light times however much mass squared.
And I found him to be good. I found that he also really is not only a writer, he's a scholar. He's truly a motivator and very sensitive to persons of all ethnicities, race. He can engage everyone in his presentation and his delivery. In his speech and delivery with the students, he definitely was trying to engage them in understanding that education is important. You need a groundwork. You need to be stable in what you do. You develop that in structure with a foundation and how you build your plan, work your plan, and also you may fail, but you can get back up and start all over again. And that was real impressive, because I think a lot of students really lose faith in what they want to do when they feel like they fail. They just feel like that there's no hope. Very, very impressed. I'm so glad that the university brought him to hopefully motivate students and get them to feeling better about themselves and good about their failures and also their successes.
Kappa Sigma's annual No One Fights Alone fundraiser was held last week. This year, the fraternity sponsored Mackenzie Hicks, who was diagnosed with lymphoma last year. The events held included penny wars, the celebrity server dinner, a walkathon, and a triathlon. The celebrity server dinner, the first dinner of its kind on MSU's campus, raised over $1,000. At the walkathon on November 12th, organizations gathered in Laughlin Gymnasium to walk laps around the gym, donating $10 for every lap walked. On November 13th, a triathlon was held at the MSU Recreation Center. Participants put their endurance to the test as they fought through 8 laps in the pool, 10 minutes on a bicycle, and a 2-mile run. At the end of the week, the fraternity raised more than $14,000, making this one of their most successful philanthropy weeks ever.
The communities of Morehead and Mount Sterling came together for a cause last Friday when the Morehead State Ceramics Guild hosted their biannual Empty Bowls Lunch. Over 340 bowls made by Morehead students and members of the community were for sale at the Gateway Regional Arts Center. The event proved to be a success, with only 19 bowls remaining at the end of the afternoon. Bowls were $10 apiece, and there was a raffle and desserts available for additional donations. The efforts raised $3,220, and all money raised from the Empty Bowls event will go to the Mount Sterling M&M Food Pantry. Community involvement was a key factor in Empty Bowl's success.
The Morehead State Department of Music, Theater, and Dance are currently performing The Children's Hour by Lillian Hellman. NewsCenter reporter Andrew McCann caught up with the director, Sean Parker, to find out what it's all about.
Well, the play is The Children's Hour by Lillian Hellman, and it's about a young schoolgirl in the 1930s who tells her grandmother a malicious lie about the 2 school teachers that run the school. And this lie ends up being a huge scandal in the town, and it affects, well, it basically ruins the school teachers' lives. I wanted to do something from a feminist point of view as a choice for our production, for our season here at Morehead State. And that play stuck out to me. I remembered it from years ago, and when I read it again to choose a play, it really hit home. And yeah, and now we're doing it, and I'm extremely excited. I think the play itself speaks a lot. I don't want to give too much away, but it speaks a lot on that type of paranoia and the importance of understanding the human condition as far as people who might be different from ourselves, what it's like to be in somebody else's shoes and to have to go through a terrible circumstance like the one in the play. So I hope they're able to take that with them when they see it, and feel for these two school teachers that Lillian Hellman created.
The performance is located at Breckenridge in the Lucille Caudill Theater. Showings are from November 18th to November 22nd at 7:30 p.m., as well as November 23rd at 2 p.m. Tickets can be purchased at the box office on the first floor of Breckenridge.
Later in the newscast, find out which cast member from the Children's Hour will be joining us for NewsCenter Notices. We'll be right back after the break for a look at weather with Mary Dameron.
Claypool Young Art Gallery, located in the center of campus, offers a wide variety of art pieces from various contemporary artists in America. Exhibitions rotate approximately once a month and also host art pieces created by Morehead State University students, allowing art majors to experience the learning process of showcasing their art. Claypool Young Art Gallery. Come on over today and be inspired by aspiring MSU artists.
Yo, why are you looking at bags, bro? What you need is a chick magnet. You put me in the room and boom, chicks. That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome back to NewsCenter. I'm Mary Dameron. Currently on campus, we're seeing a very chilly afternoon at only 30 degrees, leading up to a very chilly week ahead of us as well. With the wind chill out there, it only feels like 23 degrees, so I hope you guys are bundled up while you're walking around. Record temperatures for this time of year, normally we're about 56 degrees for the high and 33 for our low, and we're just a little bit under that today. In 1934, the record high was at 79 degrees, which would be nice for today, and the record low in 1951 was only 12 degrees. Taking a look at our current temperatures across the Bluegrass, up north in Covington we're seeing below freezing temperatures at 30 degrees, 35 in Ashland, 32 here in Morehead, 34 in Mount Sterling, 34 in Lexington, 32 in our capital in Frankfort, 34 in Richmond, and reaching the lower 40s in Somerset at 41, 42 in London, and 45 in Harlan. For our current radar, we don't see a whole lot going on right now. Maybe a little bit of snow flurries trying to work its way on through the overnight hour and early tomorrow morning, so be on the lookout for that. For our 24-hour planner this evening, going to be very chilly at only 28 degrees for our 8 o'clock hour, and getting on down to 24 by our 11 o'clock hour. Now waking up tomorrow morning, an Arctic cold is sweeping its way through the city at only 18 degrees waking up. So you want to make sure you're bundled up and ready to head out with some warm clothes for our Friday morning. Now let's take it over to the news desk for a look at News Center notices.
Hi, welcome to News Center Notices. Joining me today is Shelby Coleman. Hi, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Can you explain to me a little bit about the Children's Hour?
Well, it's about a school for girls that is run by two women, and there's this really evil girl in it who just decides that everyone hates her, and she makes up a lie that actually ends up turning these two women's lives around. And so we get to see how this impacts them and what it changes in their future.
What is your role in the Children's Hour?
I play Lily Mortar. She is a mid-40s washed-up actress who is the aunt of one of the women who runs the school, and she just kind of hangs around there because she doesn't have really anywhere else to go. So she's not that well liked, but it's a fun role. It's different.
Can you explain to me a little bit about how the rehearsal process is going for the play?
Yes, we start out, we cast the show, and then a day or two after we have a read-through. So we just sit in a big circle and read all the lines for the parts that we were cast. And then we start doing blocking, so that tells you where you go and when you go, like during the show. And soon we get to be off book, which means that we can call line for what we're supposed to know if we don't remember it. But then soon after that, we're offline, so we can't do that anymore. And then we're opening. So,
what's your favorite part about doing this play?
Oh gosh, I get to be really over dramatic, and that's really fun. You don't get to do that often. You're really supposed to be super realistic, but I get to go kind of crazy in this one, so that's fun.
How do you think that this role has impacted you as a performer?
Something that's really difficult during a show is if you have to go from being this really high-strung crazy person to actually showing real feelings, and that's what I have to do. So I struggled a lot with finding that real part of this character and why she maybe gets so upset at the end of the show. So that was a big struggle for me, but it helped me grow as an actor, I think.
How long is the play running?
We opened on Tuesday, and we go through Saturday at 7:30, and then we have a Sunday matinee at 2 o'clock.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after the break with an extended look at weather and Samuel Perkins with Eagle Athletics.
It never gets old, huh?
Nope.
It kind of makes you wanna...
Breaking the song?
Yup. I love the sunset.
I love Eagle Lake.
I love the forest. I love when eagles play.
I love the campus!
And all its sights and sounds.
Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada.
I love philosophy.
We love diversity. I love English.
And all its weird words.
I love the music.
And all its melodies. Boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada.
Boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada.
I love fraternities.
I love sororities.
I love to draw things.
And all the athletes.
I love Moorhead.
It's such a pretty place.
Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada.
Addison, why are you dressed up like that?
Because you're in a dream, John.
How can you prove that?
Your body's still there.
What?
Wake up and smell the coffee. Java City.
Welcome back to News Center. If you are just now tuning in, we're having a very chilly afternoon on campus today. Only 30 degrees for our high. Definitely feeling like wintertime conditions are starting to work its way through. Taking a look at your 24-hour planner for this evening at the 8 o'clock hour. Very, very cold conditions at only 28 degrees. And working on down to 24 by the 11 o'clock hour. But mostly we're going to have clear skies, so that should be good for our evening. Waking up tomorrow morning, an Arctic cold is sweeping its way on through at only 18 degrees for the high as you're waking up. So you want to make sure you're bundled up and ready to go for everybody that has class tomorrow. And by our noon o'clock, by 12 o'clock tomorrow, 30 degrees for the high, another cold day, and making its way only up to 36 degrees for our high tomorrow afternoon. For our current conditions across the Bluegrass, courtesy of WKYT, up north in Covington, temperatures are below freezing at only 30 degrees for the high. Over in Ashland, they're around 35 degrees, 32 here in Moorhead, 34 in Mount Sterling and Lexington, 34 in Richmond and Danville, and down south in Somerset, low 40s at 41 in Somerset, 42 in London, 42 in Jackson, and 45 in Harlan. We're not seeing a whole lot going on for our current radar. There could be a little bit of precipitation trying to work its way on through, but generally for our afternoon and on to the evening, we should have some clear skies ahead of us. There might be a chance of a snow flurry or two trying to work its way on through for our early morning hours, but should have a nice chilly and clear evening for you ahead of us. For our United States map, yep, we don't see a lot of stuff going on. Maybe some precipitation trying to come through from Canada, but we're not seeing a whole lot going on there. Tonight, clear skies ahead for us, but bitterly cold at only 26 degrees. With that wind chill factor working its way, though, it feels like 19 degrees, so bitterly cold for our afternoon and into night. Tomorrow, still going to be a chilly Friday for us, and unfortunately, I don't think the weekend's going to be warming up too much. The high for tomorrow is only 34 degrees, so make sure you're bundled up for that day. Now, taking a look at your 7-day forecast for our weekend Friday, 34 degrees for our high, still very cold. And for our weekend, Saturday and Sunday, fortunately, I think we're going to be seeing some rain. Going to be a wet weekend ahead of us. But on towards Monday, warming up a little bit, 47 degrees. And for our Tuesday, partly cloudy at 38 degrees. Wednesday, temperatures are still dropping at 33 degrees. But for our Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday, it's going to be 47. Still kind of cold, but at least it's going to be sunny. So it'll be great for everybody to get out there and enjoy the festivities. Now let's kick it over to Eagle Athletics with Samuel.
Your home for the Moorhead State Eagles, this is NewsCenter Sports.
Your Moorhead State ladies basketball team was able to come away with another victory against George Mason this past weekend. The Lady Eagles were able to take the lead 5 minutes into the first half and never let the lead go. Sophomore forward Shay Still led the team with a career-high 23 points. Senior guard Almisha Jones added in another 20 points with 7 assists to lead the Eagles to victory. As a team, the Eagles shot 42% and also hit 8 three-pointers. Moorhead State will face Indiana in Bloomington Friday afternoon. The game is set to tip off at 7 p.m. Moorhead State men's basketball team led the game from start to finish Monday evening, beating NAIA opponent Cincinnati Christian 87-79. 5 MSU players were able to score double digits, while sophomore Corbin Collins led the team with 15 points. Senior Billy Reeder and junior Anthony Alecki each had a team-best 7 rebounds. Senior Kareem Story handed out a team-best 9 assists. MSU was able to hold the advantage in rebounding, assist, block shots, paint points, points off, turnovers, and second chance points. The Eagles will head down to Louisiana to play Louisiana Tech Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. Your Moorhead State football team won its final home game against Stetson 41-18. Senior running back Reese McShera led the day rushing for 126 yards. Junior cornerback Justin Greer was able to catch his first and second interception on the season in the game, as well as adding in 7 tackles. Senior Michael Jackson was able to intercept a pass on the final drive of the game in his final home game as a Moorhead Eagle. Moorhead will end the season this Saturday at Charlotte to take on the 49ers. Game time is set for noon. And now for NewsCenter's famous sports trivia. What 2 basketball players earned OVC honors this past week? Was it A. Almisha Jones and Ariel McKee, B. Azia Bishop and Linnea Harper, C. Makai Viella and Casey Ryans, or D. Natalie Greenwell and Azia Bishop?
Oh wow, you've stumped me on this one, Samuel. I'm going to go with A.
I'm going to agree and go with A.
I'm going to go with A as well.
Well, congratulations, guys. You would all be correct today. And interesting enough is that Jones was actually named the League Player of the Week after averaging 19 points and 7 assists and 4 rebounds this past weekend. So that's really good. So we will be right back after the break.
Chi Omega held its annual Follies event this past Tuesday. Follies is a fundraiser event that many organizations participate in, with each group performing a dance routine. This year's theme was Game Day. Each year, a child from the Make-A-Wish Foundation is chosen to be the recipient of the money raised during this event. The best overall performance was awarded to the Baptist Campus Ministry. Best choreography was awarded to Gamma Phi Beta. Crowd favorite was awarded to Sigma Alpha Epsilon, and Sigma Phi Epsilon won most creative. Chi Omega raised over $6,000 to donate to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
The Fuzzy Duck held their monthly open mic night last week. The Trailblazers stopped by to check out the local talent.
I spent a long time in the music industry before I got involved in this business, and so this is my way to do all the things I said I would never do when I was a music critic. So this has gone on a couple of years now, and it's fun to watch people get up on stage and try things and come back or not come back. And some people, deciding it's not for you is a valid outcome too, and there have been a stand-up comedian early on who's never been back, and maybe I'll see her on Broadway someday, and maybe she got it out of her system. There's no way to know, and it's all good. So that's what this is. We do this once a month. Generally run through the summer if we think there's enough interest. Second Thursday of the month, 8 minutes. We've had everything from a trombone flute duet to stand-up comedy to a ventriloquist to poets to a lot of singer-songwriters, some of whom will even dig out their own material.
The Moorhead community are getting into the holiday spirit. The Christmas Bazaar was hosted the 9th of November from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Haldeman Community Center. This is the third year this event was held. Around 15 booths were set up selling jewelry, homemade blankets, personalized leather items, and other items. Concessions were also available and included homemade vegetable soup, cornbread, desserts, and drinks. Those who attended had the opportunity to enter a raffle to win a quilt. The Christmas Craft Bazaar was presented by the Haldeman Hayes Crossing Community Center Foundation. We'll be right back after the break.
Moorhead State University hosted its annual choral festival for high school students last week. The Trailblazer was there.
I'm Dr. Greg Detweiler, and I've been in charge of the Choral Fest, so I've been the host. We had 450 high school kids here, and they were divided into 2 choirs. They went on for 2 days. Our university choir sang last night, and tonight we had the 450 high school kids sing, and it was just a great thing for the state of Kentucky and for Ohio. Two states participated, so we had 26 schools, and it was a great recruiting device for our school. So each of the groups presented 5 to 6 pieces, and they worked on it for 2 days under guest conductors. One was Rod Eichenberger, retired now from Florida State University, and the other was Dr. Therese Hibbert from the University of Nebraska. So we bring these clinicians in, and the high schools register and come to Morehead State University. We've been doing this for 55 years, so it's a great event across the state of Kentucky and Ohio.
Morehead State's Quidditch team helped students get into the holiday spirit with the hosting of their first annual Yule Ball. The Trailblazer was there.
We really tried to propaganda it more as it's just a fancy dance, that it's more like prom. We were trying to play down the whole Harry Potter part just because we wanted it to be a thing that people could come to and just have fun and dance. We weren't trying to oh look, it's a Yule Ball, and we were just like, it's prom formal essentially. And so it didn't really matter if you've seen it or not. People who have seen it are like, oh, I know what that is, and other people are like, oh cool, a dance. It goes towards the MSU Quidditch team. We're trying to earn up the money to become a part of the IQA, which is the International Quidditch Association. And one of the rules is it's a nonprofit organization, so everything has to be fundraised. So equipment, jerseys, anything that we have has to come through funds like this. When I think of parties or dance or something, I always think of alcohol, and it's off campus, and this is something that people who don't drink, who don't party, can come and have a fun time at, and people who like dances. That's what we were trying to achieve, just a safe environment that people could come and have fun and not worry about things. So far, I've seen happy faces. Not as big a turnout as I wanted, but overall, I'm really happy. Everyone's really happy. They're dancing up there. We're hoping to make it an annual thing, something that people who come here can expect to be hosted.
Watch NewsCenter online at msutv.net.
Or follow us on Twitter at MSU_NewsCenter.
On behalf of Mary Dameron with weather, Samuel Perkins with sports, and the rest of the NewsCenter team, I'm Leanne Zaproni.
And I'm Chelsea Armstrong. Have a great evening.